Hey boys and girls, we got a little work done on the buggy, so let's go take a look at it. Alright, so we haven't got a whole lot of progress, but we did make some progress. And yes, I ran out of gas for the TIG welder, so we had to use flux core, and I haven't cleaned all the spatter off. So, went to racepartssolution.com. This is who I got the flanges for the turbos. They were the cheapest, they were like $10 a piece. The only thing is they have an 8mm hole for like an 8mm stud, and the hole in the turbine housing is a 10mm, so the bolts going in are 10mm. So I did have to drill those out, but it's still a lot easier than me cutting the flanges out, so they actually look nice and all that. The next thing is, I think I threw them away, but I bought some transitions from 3-inch down to 2-inch. Got those off of Amazon. A lot of them are just like bell shape. I mean, like ball shape, and they go down real quick. This is the only pair that I found that actually transitioned with a more of a taper that wasn't like $60 a piece. I don't remember the brand. I'm sorry to tell you guys. I wish I did. But you look around. Actually, the photo actually did match it. It was like $20 each, or something like that. Maybe 15 bucks. It was not crazy expensive for those reducers. Then we welded it to our old glass packs that we have here. I still have to drill a hole. I'm going to put the O2 bungs in it. I do have those over here. Let me see. Where'd it go? You know, I've got all these stuff. There we go. We got it. So we got O2 bungs that we're going to drill and put in there. We have one for each side because when we go to tune it with a Y-band, you're going to want to know which side is doing what. We have to make a brace. And what I'm thinking I'm going to do is I'm going to go from here, weld directly to this, down, and have a tab down here so that the muffler can be removed and then the turbo can be removed. Everything needs to be serviceable and stuff. Same thing on the other side. I also will probably make a tab coming from here, welded directly here, and going over the exhaust stud. That way it's supported in two directions, up and down and side to side, because the motor is rubber mounted. It is going to move. I've decided that I'm going to connect both sides to a plenum and then into the carb hats. So there's going to be a crossover going between just to equalize everything, and that way if we won't get into a problem of one turbo building more boost than the other, because then once the whole system pressurizes, the wastegate should open up and equalize it out. Alright, so what else did we do? We got a little battery. I don't think I've showed anybody this. This is a battery from like a personal watercraft. So number one, they're cheaper. And they have decent cold cranking amps. They're not crazy. I can't remember what this one is. I think it was like 400 cold cranking amps. So it's basically the same cranking amp as the cheapo battery you get from, AutoZone and whatnot. But the main thing is it's smaller. It's real small. I mean, you can see my hands here. It's lightweight. We're not really going about weight, but we're going for the size. But it's small enough that it should fit right in here. Get the light on. Right in this area right here without too much complaints. So I'm going to put it on bracket that comes off the torsion housing, brings it up close to here, and I should be able to drop it in and out. Should fit right through this section right here, so the battery should be able to get in and out, and the cable should be easy to get to. So we already have a cable hooked to the starter, and we have another one that's going to go to the chassis. But let's see, I bought a switch right here. I haven't hooked it all the way up, but a little on off switch. And the wiring harness, I unknowingly hooked the radio to a constant power. So for the Bluetooth receiver there for the speakers is hooked to a constant power. So when you turn it on, the speakers come on and they stay on. So we're not going to want to run the battery down or anything like that. So that was, instead of rewiring and finding a switched power wire and redoing all the wiring harness, we're just going to cut in, splice into the power, and use that switch underneath the dash just to kill it once you park. The next thing is the front end's looking lower than I'd like. And I thought about putting like coilover shocks on the front, although that would cause a hard ride. I am thinking air shocks now, something that I can adjust and bring the front end. I don't want to bring the front end up a lot. I just want to bring it up maybe about an inch or so. So that might be the next thing that we're going to end up doing on the buggy here. We still got to cut our gas cap. I don't know why I keep forgetting this. We were out cutting metal the other day, and we just have to trim some of this so that the gas set will fit on there. As you can see, we're about a ½ inch proud. So I got to trim a little off that so that this will go on there, and then we can finally put the hose on that and mount that finally. What else? That's about it. We're still trying to get all the exhaust stuff done because I want to get all the welding done before I start putting the motor all the way together, and then we'll have to clean the garage, of course. But once I get the exhaust on there, I'm not sure if I want to wait for the crossover tubes on the carburetors or if I'm just going to put the motor together. I'm kind of itching to put the motor together a little bit now so it's complete, because I can run it without the crossover tube and stuff on it. So kind of wanting to hear it run. So that may be our next direction that we go, is to actually assemble the motor. And we're going to have to clean up the garage a little bit because obviously it's a mess. You know, that's what happens when you work on stuff. But that's probably going to be our next videos, is after we get the exhaust done, we are going to start assembling the motor. There's a few little coatings I want to do. I have coatings for the pistons and chambers. I have a heat resistant coating for the case that's supposed to actually help wick away heat, and we want to get all the engine tins powder coated, manifolds powder coated, and things like that. We do need to fit the engine tins, but that will probably be at a later date. That can be done when the motor's all together. So anyways, boys and girls, this is a little update. Hope you're all doing good. Get out there and get your projects done. I will see you later.